Welcome everyone to my channel. I'm Juliet, your Scorpion Goddess, and this is where I break down the astrology forecast, highlights of the week, along with a collective tarot reading. So we're going from August 15th to August 21st. And if you're new here, I am a Western tropical astrologist. So this is going to be your Western forecast. So I want to let you guys know, again, thank you to the community that Scorpion Goddess has been building here. I appreciate all the comments that you guys put in. And another reminder to please make sure you hit like and give this video a thumbs up, because it boosts the algorithm to reach out to other people. And I always appreciate seeing the likes that I receive on these videos and the comments as well. I always get excited seeing what you guys have to say. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed so far and been a part of this community that we've been building together here. What is going on, you guys? So we're doing the week of August 15th to August 21st. So before I get everything to break down and all that, I do want to announce that on the 15th, I'm filming this on the 14th. On the 15th, Monday, is my 6-year anniversary. So yay to me and my husband for making it 6 years and more going. So I just want to put that out there. So when we start the week out on Monday the 15th, we do have the moon, which is where we have our emotions, our subconscious, and it's also the public tone in the sign of Aries. So this is a great time to get tasks taken care of. Really get into the projects that you've set aside, have those conversations that you've been pushing aside, pay those bills you've been pushing aside, anything you've pushed aside for the most part, or, things that need to get taken care of that just haven't really had your focus for whatever reason. It could be a multitude of things. Aries moon starting out the week is going to give us that drive to really step our foot in and take care of business. So this is a great way to begin the week, you know what I mean? So Tuesday, Mercury, our thoughts, ideas, and communication is going to be making a nice aspect with Uranus, which is progression and shocking things and your uniqueness. So when these two come together, it gives you that push to really think outside of the box, get these really cool ideas going. If, like I said, we're starting Monday out with the moon in Aries, so whatever it is that you've been pushing aside, Aries is giving that drive to get these things done. And then on Tuesday, Mercury and Uranus are like, hey, what are some really cool funky ideas or projects that we could get into that will be totally different, something you haven't done before, what hasn't been done, what can make you stand out from the crowd. This is what is going to be happening on Tuesday. So it's a very exciting time. And like I said, or maybe I didn't say it, but I did at least in my head, this transit or these aspects, whatever you want to call it, do not happen that often. So really take advantage, especially if you're an entrepreneur or a very creative, artistic kind of person. Tuesday is going to be a really, really, really good day to get all of that stuff, those ideas out onto paper or into the world, or, that project, get it going. I do want to throw out there though, however, on Tuesday, we have this great stuff happening, right, with these two planets. But the moon will be going void at some point towards the end of the day before it turns into or transitions into Taurus, where it is exalted at. So with that being said, when moons go void, it's kind of like a mini retrograde. So yeah, this is a great time to really think outside of the box, get all this stuff taken care of and done. However, towards the end of the day, when the moon goes void, it's not the best time to put that project out there or whatever it is during that time, just because it's not really, you may have to work a little bit harder than you would if you could just wait a few more hours, or if you do it before that time frame does happen. Now, Wednesday is when we have a really great aspect happening, which is Venus and Jupiter, which are two very benefic planets in our solar system. Venus is love, relationships, money, and Jupiter is a magnifying glass to expand and bring in really good luck and abundance. So with these two working together very nicely, this is bringing in more money, having better conversations and relationships with the people around you, even more better relationships with the money that you have. And this is a great time to get together with other people, or even manifest and call in more of what it is that you do want, because Jupiter's bringing that good luck and that abundance. And, you know, Wednesdays are ruled by Mercury, which is the mind. So when we have Venus, our love and relationships and money being magnified by Jupiter, and they're in fire signs, so it's giving a lot of passion and action behind what it is that we really do love and what we want to go for. And as I'm saying this, my recording said 111, so that right there is a sign to, you know, begin something new, because we've just finished this full moon, this super full moon in Aquarius, where we've released a lot of stuff, a lot of tension, a lot of things that we didn't need last week, you know, that there were just, the cycle had ended, you know, whatever it was for you. So now this is a great time to begin something new, especially Wednesday with Venus. Like, what are you passionate about? What do you love? Who do you love? What more money do you want to bring in? Use the planets to your advantage. This is how you can manipulate things in your favor, as long as you're not harming anybody, of course. You can use manipulation tactics in any kind of form, but people tend to see manipulation as like this bad negative thing, when it's, you know, whatever it is that you use it for. So Wednesday, take advantage of whatever it is that you love. This is a great time too to really like rekindle relationships or start something new. This could be platonic relationships or romantic relationships, and like I said, the relationship you have with money as well. What can you really do with that to make it better? So that's what Wednesday is really bringing in for us. Now when we get to the 20th, if you have your Astrology Journal, if not, you can go to my Etsy shop and purchase one. They're good all the way up until March of 2023, because it's the astrological calendar year. So this right here, August 20th, we have Mars, the planet of ambition, drive, war, action, passion. It's going to be aligning, or entering anyways, the sign of Gemini, which is multifaceted and very intelligent, and the forever student, always wanting to learn about new things. So when you have a planet of action entering a sign that works with the mind and is always wanting to learn new things, the jack of all trades, this is the time to get into a bajillion different projects, try things you haven't tried yet before, get your feet wet in things that you never thought you would want to even try, because you can get excited about learning new things. Gemini likes to try out things that, even if a typical person would be like, oh, I wouldn't be into that, Gemini's going to try it anyways, just to see what it's like and have that experience, and then probably never do it again. But they're going to try it anyways. So Mars gives that drive, and Gemini is like, let's try this out. So, you know, if you've been curious, this is going to give us a lot of curiosity as well. So for me personally, I'm excited about this aspect. However, when Mars goes into a new sign, it typically stays for about 6 weeks. But this is going to stay for around 7 months, because it will be going retrograde. But we're not going to talk about that today, because it's not happening this week. It's going to be happening, I believe, at the end of October. So, hey, and I want to let you guys in on a little, my natal Mars is in Gemini, which is retrograde in my natal chart. So I'm excited about just Mars entering into Gemini, because it's a natal placement for me. So, you know, if you also have a natal Mars or Gemini Mars, this is going to get you feeling more aligned within how you take action and stuff. So it's going to give you a little more oomph and a little more drive for those natal placements. So anyways, that's pretty much the weekly breakdown forecast. Now we're going to get into the collective tarot reading. Now when I do my tarot readings, I'm an intuitive reader, so you take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is a general collective reading, so it's for the general public. It's for, you know, everybody out there. This is not a personal one-on-one reading. So if there's something in here that doesn't resonate for you, that's fine. It's probably going to resonate with somebody else. But like I said, I read intuitively. So we're going to be pulling some cards, and I want to see for the week of August 15th to August 21st, what are some messages that we don't know about? What are some messages that we need to know about? Something that we need to hear. What is this week going to be like? for us. So the Five of Pentacles coming out, and I want to know, why is this here? Why are we seeing the Five of Pentacles? We got a flyer. Okay, so we have two fives right here. The Hierophant coming in as clarification for the Five of Pentacles. So this is talking about changes that need to happen. But as I'm saying this, 555 popped up on how I'm recording right now. So this is really solidifying. Change is happening. You're in the midst of it. And I think a lot of us are changing the direction and how we move and go about things. And I'm seeing there could be some struggles within this week of how to handle some certain situations. This could be people, but I feel like this is more of authority figures. How are you going to handle the authority figures in your life, or how are you going to step up and be one yourself? I see people having to step outside of their comfort zones. You're going to have to ask for something you want instead of, you know, relying on that other person. I see people stepping into more of this divine masculinity versus the divine feminine, where you're receptive and open for things to coming your way. I think I'm seeing a lot of us being uncomfortable where we have to step into that divine masculine to really put yourself out there for people to see, you know, who you are. I think people are going to be getting very uncomfortable with expressing themselves, but taking on that challenge, that challenge of needing to express yourself. I think it's going to be like, oh, I really don't want to do this. But it's like something is telling you you need to take this next step. I think when I was saying about when the Gemini transit happens in Mars, with getting into like new things, I'm seeing the Hierophant as like there's some knowledge, there is something to learn that needs to be unlocked. I think some traditional values that need to be unlocked, that need to be learned to figure out and understand, why do I do the things that I do? I see people going into this like shadow work in a way where you're like, why do I operate? Whoa. Drop my mic, sorry. I see people being like, why do I operate the way I do around these people? And I think people are going to be tapping into like, what is my toxic masculine side? What is my toxic feminine side? And then what can I do to change and shift that thing around to learn more about myself and to grow more? And I think that's where that uncomfortability is coming in at. Like, you're gonna have to get uncomfortable to learn some things about yourself that, you know, make you quote unquote toxic. I don't really like throwing that word out there because I feel like people just use it just to use it, but this is what I'm picking up on. And when you do that, when you ask these questions, then you can go in and see like, okay, well, what are my positive traits? You know, what are the things that make me who I am, like my positive masculine traits and my positive feminine traits, and sitting in that. And when you sit in that uncomfortability, things of the past, traditions, stuff that's been passed down, knowledge from your family, whatever it is, that how you grew up, how you handled money, all of that stuff. Once you sit with that to really understand it, I think that's where this growth and change is going to come in at. That's going to be happening this week for a lot of people. All right, now I have my mic fixed. So let's see what else. Oh, we have the Four of Pentacles coming out. Four of Pentacles. This is sitting in your stubbornness. But I also see this as somebody standing their ground and not budging because there are some people around you who are trying to bring you down. Now, I think these are people from your past. Now, again, I'm going back to this Aquarius super full moon we had. There were cycles that needed to be that needed to be completed and ended. And this may be a week of being tested of, did you internally, you know, like, yes, the planets, like all this stuff happened on the outside of you, where these things may have ended that you were not expecting. But you're going to be tested this week to see, are you going to continue to progress and move away from this because the cycle has ended, or are you going to go back into it? And again, that's going into that, finding out what parts of me are toxic and where does this come from and how can I move on from that. What can you hold on to as well, though, to, you know, really stand your ground in a certain situation where, you know, I've left this situation and I'm not going to, you know, step down to get onto this other person's level because I know I'm above that. And I think this could be people around you that may find you as a threat. I see people projecting things as well. I also see people trying to throw some evil eye happening this week as well. Some people trying to throw some evil eye onto you. So this is where that you need to guard yourself and protect yourself and stand your ground and not be open to allowing any of that bullshit to come in. What else is happening this week? All right. The Ace of Wands reversed. Ace of Wands reversed coming after the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, this is people, maybe this isn't the time to, I just think people are trying to test you. I don't think this is the time to move and take action on something. Maybe this is the time, like, you need to, I feel like this is a time for stillness and not really stagnant energy. I know stillness and stagnant kind of correlate, but I don't see this as stagnant as in dull. I see this as in stillness, where there is a lot of integrating happening right now, and so there's this change happening internally, and so you need to allow that to happen before you can take action. Maybe next week will be the time to take action, but I think there are things that are happening internally where there's like some reprogramming going on. You're, you know, getting things put into you, different perspectives. I see more meditating, more just internal shadow work is really standing out. So I think that's why this is saying, like, this is the time to be doing the action within and not really projecting it outwardly this week. That's interesting. What else is going on for this week? I want to know if there's like some, is this something that we, give me something else. Give me another story for this week for the collective. All right, we got another flyer. All right, so we have the King of Cups that flew out. Whoa, King of Cups flew out. So this is messages or information being told to you, something you've been looking forward to have happening. This is money coming your way, or love coming your way, or projects, or people who can network with you happening this week. I think this is where, so yeah, I talked about this masculinity, like having to step out, go out of your way. But now I'm getting another story of something completely different, where it's this time of you're doing this internal work. So you're having this magnet of things be attracted to you, of people are starting to see you. I see recognition happening as well. But I also see, like, this is the time for partnerships and networking to really blossom and bloom. Relationships as well. People are going to be noticing you and wanting to come towards you and want to know more about you. But there's something mysterious that's really driving this person or these people toward you. You have some kind of mystery. You're like, I'm being presented, like, this is who I am, but you don't know everything about me. It's like showing, like, I'm very open and vulnerable, but at the same time, you don't know much because you have this armor you wear, and that's where that mysteriousness comes from. But I see a lot of people being more open and flowing with their feelings and attracting whatever kind of emotions that you do have are going to be coming towards you. So if you've been giving people a lot of, like, love, I see people giving that back to you this week. You know, whatever it is, I see it. It feels good. Like, I'm getting this, like, it's that solar plexus energy is what I'm picking up on. So it's like this, it's confidence. It's this confidence, peaceful, like, things are coming my way kind of energy that I'm picking up on. Feels good. I like it. We have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, so again, this with this Knight of Cups and then Ace of Swords following out afterwards, you know, maybe you've been doing all this internal work because we had that full moon and we had those conjunctions happening and all of that with like shocking things happen. We're like, oh my God, so many changes have happened, like transformative stuff. And I think this week is where I really feel that people are going to be able to communicate what they have been processing and what they have been going through, or even writing it down or putting it into music. Music is standing out. I think last week I talked about music standing out too. I don't usually remember my readings when I do them. So if you guys remember, comment down below if there was something about music. I think there was. But I think this week is when we're going to be tapping more into like creativity and music stuff. And as I'm saying that, three popped up as I'm recording. So again, the numbers are solidifying because 3s are about creativity, and you know, music is a big, major creative artistic form. So I think this is where we can really communicate the feelings we've been having. I think this week too, if you've been feeling a certain way, you're going to be able to relay how you've been feeling to the other person or other people around you, so that they can understand like why you've been acting the way you have been, or just really what's been going on with you. Letting them know. And I think people are going to have a better perception of like being able to grasp what you're saying, to understand what's just been going on with you. I want to know, what are some other messages that we can... Here we have the Temperance reverse coming out. Interesting. So typically when I see the Temperance come out, I think for some of us, it's like maybe we have to work a little bit more towards things working out in our favor. There might be a little bit more work that needs to be done for things to feel equal and harmonious and balanced. And I've been talking a lot about balance the last month or so from my readings, and I did make a tweet about this earlier, and I just want to relay it in my video as well, that when I talk about balance, I'm not talking about 50-50. I'm talking about balance where I had somebody say something this week and I was like, I want to use this term as well because it just is a good way to explain it. So you allow the pendulum to swing from side to side. So it doesn't always have to be 50-50. Most of the time, I just feel like balance isn't 50-50. It's 60-40, 70-30, 90-10, 80-20. You know, it's all of that. So this week, I think there may be a little bit more on the other side. And I think that's where this uncomfortability, this change is coming in at. That what the Temperance is saying, you need to put in a little bit more work into that other part to get in that balance that you lack. And that's why I was talking about you need to really pick up that, write out, get it out. That's what Swords is about, writing. Get it out of what parts of myself am I lacking in, the toxic sides, and then the good stuff too. What do I bring to the table? Where is my positive, divine, side of this and this? Bring out and really sit in that. And I think when this is coming out, there's a little bit more work that needs to be done because you haven't done this before. You're learning something new about yourself and you're like, whoa, I got to sit with this. And I think that's where that balance, that's why it's internal. There's some internal things that still need to be processed and worked on because again, like it doesn't take a day, a week, whatever. Sometimes when you're working on something, especially yourself, you are the biggest project you're gonna ever work on. So it's a process. So if it sounds like I'm repeating myself, it's because you're still going through this part of transforming in your life. This is just the next little step towards it. It's focus on the baby steps. You may have a mapped out goal, like this is where I initially want to reach, but how are you going to get there? There are these baby steps that need to happen, and sometimes that baby step involves, oh wait, I need to take another step back because I got a little bit too ahead of myself. And I think that's what we're going to be noticing this week. Maybe we got a little bit too ahead of ourselves, so we got to take a step back and really reflect on that. And part of reflection is really, really powerful. So I see that really big reflection is going to be the theme of the week. That's what they're saying. Reflection is the theme of the week, and it's a very powerful, beneficial thing. So use that. I want to pull one more card, but I'm being told not to. So I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you guys and see what those have to say. All right, so we're going to be doing the angels and ancestors. So I want to see what are some angels and ancestors we could use to work with this week, or messages that they have for us as well for this week. Ooh, we have the seer, see beyond the current situation. So this is, again, her eyes are blocked because you have to look within. This is the internal stuff. Using your third eye, seeing the unseen, the energies around you and from within you, you know. And I see a lot of people, maybe you're getting into like a lot of spell and magic work too. I think some people have been curious on how to do certain spells, and you're going to be trying to tap into figuring that out. But before you do, I think there's like research or internal stuff, seeing like, is this really the right fit for me? Is this the spell that I'm sure that I want to try out and do? So that is what I see happening. I also see protection being done because of the silver. So I think a lot of you guys really need to protect your third eye. So maybe rubbing some oil right here. And focusing on protecting, or even putting salt right there, like oil with a little bit of salt, to throw in that protection value of not allowing certain things to enter your aura. I think you need to cleanse your aura. I think Reiki would be very beneficial to have done as well. So if you know a Reiki practitioner in your area who can do that, you can do so. Or I do distance Reiki at the moment, so if you're interested in that, you can also book a session with me, but it is distance Reiki, not in person. I prefer in person, but anyways, just throwing that out there. But I just really see like this protection value, and really tapping into, you know, that divinity that you have from within. And I think some of you guys are going to be getting some psychic downloads and messages happening this week as well. So writing all of those things down. Some people may even be interested in, I think, trying to create their own grimoire. So if you've been trying to do that, do it. We have Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowledge. This is all about internal stuff this week. Reflection, again, this is what they're saying. You need to really focus on the internal stuff, the reflection work. Honor your inner knowing. Your gut is going to always be correct. This is the week to really work on your intuitive knowledge. So by doing that, some people say that like your intuitive side is like a muscle in a way. And in a sense it is, where if you keep, like your brain's a muscle. When you read, you get more knowledge, right? It's the same thing with your psychic abilities. So doing some intuitive tests, not tests, but like intuitive work. So if you have your own cards, trying to intuitively read them, looking at the esoteric symbolisms, you know, to really help build that up. Or you can even go online just for fun, but it can also help build up your intuitive stuff too, to type in like intuitive tests, where some people will post like, what color crystal is in the palm of my hand, and then you got to try and, you know, intuitively guess. And if you were thinking of the color green, so was I. So if you were thinking of the color green, boom, that right there was an intuitive test. But like, these are just different ways that you can do that and build up on that, is what I'm trying to say. So again, it's reflection and your intuitive stuff, and knowing that all the stuff you want to know has already been given to you. It's just a matter of unlearning the stuff that's been put into your head and over processed over time because of society and yada yada yada, and doing that. But again, it's internal work, it's shadow work, it's all of that stuff, and that's what this week is all about. the reflection aspect. So now we also have, what deck is this? The Starseed Oracle. So I want to see what are some messages from the Starseed Oracle. And as I'm saying that, I'm getting lightheaded. So really opening and working on this area, that third eye, that inner knowledge. You have it. You have the power. So let's see. Messages. All right. Star Keeper, cosmic ancestor, see the light by staying grounded. And if you look, his third eye is lighting the bubble around him in his aura, right? And I've been talking about cleansing your aura and all of that. So when we work a lot intuitively, sometimes we can get too lost in the astral realm, and you need to be grounded. You have to be grounded because that's where that balance comes in at. So if you're lacking that groundedness, that solid, solidifying foundation, that needs to be worked on while you are able to download these psychic, intuitive messages that are coming to you. Just make sure you are grounding yourself before, so doing some breath work or focusing on the body and where you are physically within you can really help with this grounding aspect while you're doing your reflections and all that stuff, you guys. And I think I pulled, oh yeah, I did my self-care deck. I love the self-care deck. These are so I love this deck because the colors, the artwork on it I really like, and also they're just so simple that it's like, here's the message, get it, and that's it. You know, it's not all this overcomplications, which is nice sometimes, you know. So self-care for this week. What is some self-care we can use for this week? Chanting, which is the number 8, and 8 symbolize infinite stuff and abundance. So chanting, connecting, and it's funny because I was just talking about grounding and being connected, all of this. So chanting, she's opening and having that inner life force, your kundalini. It's like that golden thing from within you. When all your chakras finally align, you awaken your inner kundalini. And by doing this, I personally love Chakra Dyana. It is a meditation to do. It's a chanting meditation. It's where you chant the sounds of each chakra. It can go from 20 minutes to 40 minutes, and when you do it, you're awakening your kundalini. It's very powerful. So this coming out, if you guys want to check out, I will actually link in the description box down below a Chakra Dyana meditation you can do yourself. Just remember, it is a chanting one, just like this card is coming out and saying. So you're going to be saying and really like holding on to the sounds of each chakra and follow along what the person says. And if you don't understand, you'll catch up and catch along because they repeat each chakra chant a few times. And then in the middle you say Kundalini Arohanam, which basically means like awaken the Kundalini internal life within me. And you say that in between each chakra. Maybe I'm saying too much and it's complicated, whatever right now, but it's really not. And you guys, I highly recommend it. If you feel pulled to do it, do it. So this was the weekly forecast breakdown and your general tarot reading. So comment down below if you made it this far. I don't know, an Om symbol. Comment an Om symbol. Ooh. Comment an Om symbol if you made it this far. And I'll catch you guys next week. And as always, please share this with somebody and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.